At that point,
November
when I
29th, 2021. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure the date was there.
when I had gone to Natasha as a friend and told her what I was going through, Natasha told me that she had another person who had gone to her and was going through something similar. That person was Ludovica. So at the time of the sex panel, I was put into the group chat with Ludovica and Natasha. That lasted about 24 hours. And Ludovica had communicated all of the fear that she had and what she was experiencing. So when I was up on that sex panel, the other person I was referencing to was Ludovica. And the fear of backlash and repercussions was in reference to Ludovica.
We're going to have to rewind this so that you can listen to the words you say. As you said, you never heard it.
Be here with you all the way through, Melissa. That's from Kimberly here. Okay. Sounds good, Kimberly. Sounds perfect.
Comfortable coming forward publicly. Feel free to reach out still privately to any of us. Because, I mean, not everyone is built or suited to go public with this kind of stuff, but that doesn't mean you don't have to. It's not for most people, and I don't honestly recommend it, to be honest. It's probably better to just have a community behind you. So don't feel ashamed if you're not ready to come forward. We'll all be here long term.
Of course, yeah.
We ain't going nowhere. Y'all know it.
And MJ is here. She said she took NC's word. Okay, we'll get to that. That's perfect. We're going to get to that.
So I acknowledge your comment. Isn't that correct, Miss Jade? When I comment to your response. In live chat on November 29th, you were still saying that this was because of Ludovica Bibiani and Natasha Cooper. Isn't that correct?
I do not have it in front of me, so I can't speak to that.
Okay.
Where?
Don't take her up on sliding into her DMs. That's the only thing I could suggest. Don't take her up on that offer.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Let me give you even a better clue. Let me just give y'all some advice here. Don't slide into anybody's DMs.
And disable vanish mode. I didn't even know what that was until Lana showed
I've never
me.
heard of it. I didn't even know until you said it.
If you're like, so if you come into me and your Facebook messages, you know, it's white background.
So you were so
unless you have, like,
traumatized, right? Does this sound like a
I'm
traumatized person that she's just talking about this like this? This is your voice,
Well, you're
correct?
That's correct. You're
Okay,
not
let's
playing any of
continue
the
on
parts where it's
playing.
hysterical.
white, you know, white bubbles. But if you swipe up, vanish mode comes about and the screen turns black. And so any message you send, once you leave that screen and, like, you know, go to a different message, it's gone. Never to be there again. And like, so if I took a screenshot or started recording, you would be notified immediately. Kind of how Snapchat does it.
Were you ever notified that Miss Oriani took a picture of your pictures?
It wasn't that picture that you sent out, though.
But yeah, it was sneaky.
Well, to tell you an idea how boring.
Non-responsive on that. I would like that stricken from the record. The question was, did you ever get a notification when you use vanish mode, as how you're explaining it, that you would get notified? Did that ever happen to you, Miss Jade?
Not from vanish
Thank you.
mode.
My poor life is, when I went to sleep one night and evidently hit record and posted it in the Spanners League. Spanners link.
Miss Oriani started her YouTube channel March 26, 2021, Miss Jade. This panel is May 27th, 2021. Isn't that correct, Miss Jade?
Again, I don't know the date
You
that
came from
started
Miss
your
Oriani's
channel, but I-
livelihood. Did you not, Miss Jade?
That is not correct.
Link with the mods I work with. You know what it was? You know what was on it? Kittens.
You know, like, what is she going to do now? I hope this all just drops and everyone can learn a lesson. And I hope.
Oh, wait, it went too far.
Come on. Well,
Here we go.
And posted it in the Spanners League. Spanners link with the mods I work with. You know what it was? You know what was on it? Kittens and crickets.
not technically challenged.
I thought, at least I could have something a little spicy, you know?
What do you mean, JB, when you say please say why you're scared? Like in regards to, like me? Like why am I?
When you ask, hey JB, it's in chat here, what has the lunatic done now? Who's the lunatic?
I would assume they're referencing you.
Because that's the name you guys gave me, right? Lana the lunatic, L-U-N-T-I-C. Let me get the right spelling here. L-U-N-A-T-I-C. Isn't that correct? Lana the lunatic. You never referred to me as Lana the lunatic?
Me?
Correct.
Not that I could recall.
Okay. So you asked, JB says, what has the lunatic done now in chat? And you see it and you say this.
Scared? You're going to have to...
Fear of the unknown. It's
right here.
Well, to tell you an idea how bored, you know?
What do you mean, JB, when you say please say why you're scared? Like in regards to, like me? Like why am I scared? You're going to have to...
Fear of the unknown. It's fear of the unknown.
Well, I was scared, like I said, because she said she was going to come on. Well, I heard her from my own ears. This isn't hearsay, you know, like she was going to come on and read out our messages and do this.
This isn't hearsay. She was going to come out and read our messages on a live broadcast. Where did you hear that from, Miss?
I submitted it into evidence today.
Yeah, so I'm asking you, you said that this is not hearsay, right? Miss Oriani said this to you personally.
It's the recorded call between you and Ludovica.
That would be hearsay. Isn't it, Miss Jade? Did you hear it, or did Miss Oriani say it to you?
I heard it from your own mouth.
Heard. Thank you.
This reenactment, but I already heard almost an hour recording of her reading out the messages, and you know, she was reading the responses, but she was manipulating how she sent it, if that makes sense. Like, you know, like, that's like me saying, okay.
So this wasn't on a live broadcast, isn't that correct?
That's correct.
What you heard was not on a live broadcast, isn't that correct?
At that time, no.
Who did you hear it from, in air quotes, hear it from?
Ludovica.
Who is Ludovica? What's her real name? Lindsay?
I think so.
Okay, and isn't Lindsay the Watts source for the Unmasked channel?
I wouldn't know that.
You're unaware of that after all of this time, Miss Jade?
Why? Yes, why would I be?
You were in a three-way chat, you just said, with Ludovica and Natasha Cooper. You got put into a three-way chat.
Yeah, for that about 24 hours.
For 24 hours. And didn't Ludovica Bibiani send you a screenshot to show that her and Vanessa said Miss Oriani's name, Lana, 482 times in a 6-month period prior to Miss Oriani ever knowing Vanessa Walsh?
And this is over 2 years ago, so
that's
I'm
not the question. Do you recall it or do you not?
I don't recall.
Okay, do you want to look at your messages that you were included in to refresh your memory, Miss Jade?
Are they submitted?
You know what they are. Look at your own personal text messages.
No, I'm good.
You're good? Thank you.
Okay, you know, like, but the way I'm going to repeat it now is, okay. You know, like, she was repeating her responses as if they weren't engaging and stuff, and like it was just I don't know, like it's the fear of the unknown, you know, like what is she gonna do now? I hope this all just drops and everyone can learn a lesson, and I wish her nothing but the best, but don't lie, don't manipulate, don't use people. It's just not right. Keep your word. Your word is the only thing you have in this life. So if you're gonna tell someone, no, I'm not gonna send it out, or if you're gonna be in a relationship, do exactly that, because you have to look at yourself in the mirror.
Or that should be, you know,
Well,
I don't get it.
And I think a lot of people need to realize that every person's action has been very different.
Miss Jade, do you recall? I'm going to have you go to exhibit. You said this is Kim Kaufman, right, KK?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. I'm going to have you go ahead and look at Exhibit 2, page. You can scroll down to page number, right here. I'm sorry. It's, I try to make it easier for myself. All right. If you can go ahead and look at page 20, I'm sorry, 30. Right here. Page 30, I'm sorry, 45. 45. Exhibit 2, page 45.
So when you say Exhibit 2, are you talking about the second?
Yeah, it's the
PDF?
one with 63 pages, I believe. Okay.
Okay, on 45?
Yes, it's a picture of mine and yours. It's my telephone there, July 15th, 2021 at 10:24 p.m. Okay. And now, this is July 15th, 2021, which would be approximately 45 days after you took this live broadcast. Do you see that? Your Honor, if you, do you want to see mine?
I see the page.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you wrote on July 15, 2021 at 10:24 p.m. on page 45, I heard they were talking to your ex. Again, this is July 15, 2021. And I say, they really weren't. She doesn't have Facebook Messenger and she doesn't do drama. I would like you to tell me who I heard. You're all the queen of hearsay. I heard they were talking to your ex. Who is they, please?
I do not recall.
Okay. Now we're going to go back to this video where you're on a panel with Kim Kaufman. Do you recall Kim Kaufman and Lana Oriani being the subject of you wanting more messages to see what Kim Kaufman and Lana Oriani were talking about? You wanted videos made of Lana Oriani and Kim Kaufman's text messages. Isn't that correct?
Wait, repeat that?
You asked Felicia, who I have a restraining order against, you asked her to make more videos about Kim Kaufman, who's on panel with you, and Lana Oriani's text messages, did you not?
Text messages?
Yeah, our messages, mine and Kim Kaufman's messages back and forth. I can tell you to go to exhibit number 1 now.
Yeah, refer to me.
Yeah, please go to exhibit number 1 now.
Mm-hmm.
You have the page on there? It's good. Okay. Exhibit number 1, if you flip to 2022, you say, let me get the...
Wait, flip to what?
Just go back to, you're going to go to the other exhibit, so I just showed the magistrate your telling me that my ex-wife was contacted. And you don't recall who, you tell me my ex-wife was contacted in July of 2021, but you can't recall who did it right now, right? You have no idea who you were in contact with then.
I wasn't in, it says I heard they were talking to your ex.
Who?
That was
I'm asking you, who'd you hear that from?
The message from 2021, I don't recall.
Exactly, you don't recall, right?
Because
Because it doesn't fit your narrative, but we're going to get there, ma'am. Because that's what I spend the big bucks on my time for.
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained. Let's just stick to the facts.
We are, Your Honor. We're going to stick to them. So I would like you to turn to page... I'm going to give you the exact page so you can get right to it. Let's see. All right. You know what? It's obviously going to come up when I continue on. So since you don't recall, we'll get there. We'll leave it at that. We'll get there.
And Melissa,
I do have a
In
question.
case you guys couldn't hear.
Are we ever going to get to the part where she calls?
Yeah, I'm going through it so that I can get all the way there where she just unleashes everything that she has to say.
All these people. But now,
Hey, what's about you? Yeah, she's like, tell me what's, tell me,
Hell, I ain't even on my true crime channel. I should have done this shit on there.
no idea that she was even a part of it.
wait a second,
I've
Kim.
never.
You just said this is at the 350 mark in 47 seconds. I have no idea who the 16 people are. No idea who the 16 people are. She says up here,
For people that
It's gonna be such a hard time. I mean,
My ex could look that up and try to use that against me,
Right.
welcome to the game, Kimberly. Here we go. Kimberly walks in. Woo! Red Kim comes on panel 3 hours and 58 minutes and 30 seconds.
And now this would be the girlfriend of Kraft and Barnes, isn't that correct? Who you contacted prior to this, isn't that correct? Who is Kim?
Crafton Barnes' wife.
Okay. And you modded for them, isn't that correct?
For a short period of time, yeah.
For a short period of time. You were their mod, right?
Yes.
And this is who you contacted to say that Lana was a snake and that she was pitting creators against each other, isn't that correct?
Something like that, yeah.
Red Kim comes on panel to say, hello, everybody. Hello.
No matter how open-minded we all are, we have to remember we're all across the United States and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And people's parents, their employers might not be as diversity friendly.
Yeah,
And to me, that's like a huge thing.
it is.
To
Because
take away that choice from somebody and use it in that way. And it's just,
Which you did for Ellie, isn't that correct? You took her choice away whether or not to be public being an openly bisexual or gay woman.
I never put her out publicly.
not even if they don't know about your sexuality, because I could just attest for what I was experiencing. Just the fact that she said she was planning to go live and portraying our messages in a certain way. Listen, my job could look that up. If they type my name, they're going to get it. My ex could look that up and try to use that against me, in regards to our
So you believe that your sexuality, Miss Jade, could be used against you, isn't that correct?
Sexuality and the sexual messages that you said you were going to put out.
So your sexuality could be used against you, isn't that correct, Miss Jade?
The sexuality and the sexual messages you said you were going to put out.
Hearsay. Did Miss Oriani say that to you? Did Miss Oriani tell you
That's
she was
what I
putting
was
out your
referring-
messages, Miss Jade?
That's
Did
what I
Miss
was
Oriani
referring-
tell you that? Yes or no?
That's what I was referencing to.
So that's hearsay. Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. She's asking, did she directly tell you that she was going to put out the messages?
At that time, no.
No. Okay.
And in fact, you put them out, didn't you, Miss Jade? You put the sexual messages out. You wrote Miss Oriani's sexual messages. You sent them to Allie, didn't you, Miss Jade?
I did not put them out publicly.
You did not give Allie our whole entire messages, Miss Jade.
I showed Allie.
Thank you. Moving on.
It's not something I wanted out there.
Yeah.
It's not something you wanted out there. Were you embarrassed of your sexuality or messaging me, Miss Jade?
Anybody would be embarrassed of their sexual messages being publicly broadcasted.
Who publicly broadcasted them, Miss Jade?
You did.
This is on May 27th, 2021. Who put out sexual messages for anybody to view, Miss Jade?
You were threatening to.
Threatening? Where are these threats, Miss Jade? Where did you see these threats? Moving on.
Okay, and it's just...
And not even if they don't know about your sexuality, because I could just attest for what I was experiencing. Just the fact that she said she was planning to go live and portraying our messages in a certain way. Listen, my job could look that up. If they type my name, they're going to get it. My ex could look that up and try to use that against me, you know, in regards to our job. It's not something I wanted out there.
Yeah.
It's not.
Where did Miss Oriani threaten this to you, Miss Jade? This is all lies, isn't it, Miss Jade?
No.
Who is your source of the information, Miss Jade?
Of what information?
That I was going to put out our messages, Miss Jade.
At that specific time?
Who was your source of information?
At that specific time, you're asking.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're not time traveling, Miss Jade.
All right.
Oh, well, because you directly said it to me after, so I'm asking specifically at that time.
She's asking at that time that you said that on the panel, who did you hear that from?
I heard it on the recorded call between Lana and Ludovica.
How did you hear such a call, Miss Jade? Thank you.
It was played for me on a phone call.
How were you privy to such a phone call, Miss Jade? Were you monitoring Miss Oriani?
No. And Ludovica posted it publicly on YouTube.
Not before May 27th, Miss Jade, did she?
She posted
You were
it
on a three-way phone call with Miss with Miss Natasha Cooper and Ludovica Bibiani on May 26th. Isn't that true, Miss Jade?
She posted it on May 26th to YouTube.
She did? Oh, what YouTube channel? Which YouTube channel? Oh,
Ludovica Bibiani, the at Ludovica Bibiani 9426.
You said, yeah, May 26th would be a Wednesday, Miss Jade. Where did she post that on May 26th? Because that would be very useful for Miss Oriani.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how you want to reference your notes now.
Not notes. This is what I had submitted as evidence.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. Go ahead, look through your evidence. We have time.
I have it as joined May 26, 2021, uploaded the video. But the first time I heard it was being played on a call.
Okay, so it was uploaded. Ma'am, where was it uploaded to?
To the Ludovica Bibiani account.
What's the name of the account, Miss Jade?
Literally at Ludovica Bibiani 942.